Good morning, Year 4. It's Wednesday and this is week 3, lesson 3, analog to digital 12-hour time. And this is my video number 1, okay? So there are 2 videos to kind of go with this lesson. So in my first video, I want you to think about your honest answer to this question, which is, can you tell the time using an analog clock? And an analog clock is the one that has a clock face on it, okay, as opposed to the one that is a digital clock that uses just the digits and the numbers displayed, like at the bottom of a computer screen. There's always the digital clock. All right, so we're going to do a rapid lesson revising telling the time using an analog clock, and you're going to need something that's circular to draw around. So any kind of lid of a jar or maybe a tin will be suitable. Okay, so and the other thing that you're going to need is something that's going to help you draw a straight line. Okay, doesn't have to be a ruler, could be the edge of something that's straight, but if you've got a ruler, then that's brilliant. Okay, so get those items, all right, and then we'll work through telling the time. Okay, so draw your circle, all right, and it's really easy to put the numbers in if you do it 12 at the top, 6 at the bottom, 3 and 9, and then we can fit in the other numbers. 1, 2, 3 is already there, 4, 5, 6 is already there, 7, 8, 9, 10 is 9 is already there, 10 and 11. So what we're going to do is we're going to label the language of time, okay? How we should be saying the time if we're reading it in terms of language. I think most of you will know that when the minute hand points straight up to the 12, that's o'clock. Okay, so there we can see we've got the o'clock, and I've also added the half past. Okay, now people tend to understand the language around this side but get confused around some of the language around this side. So what I want you to do is to go through and think this would be 5 past, okay, 10 past, okay, we don't say 15 past, we say quarter past, 20 past, and here 25 past. And again, we don't say 30 past. When the minute hand points down to the 6, we say half past because it's gone halfway around the clock. Okay, so it tends to be these ones that people get a bit in a muddle with, and that's because they don't understand that it's symmetrical. So whatever is on this side is kind of the same on this side. So where we're looking at symmetry, the same on both sides, all right, here it was 25 past. So on this side, it's going to be 25 2. Okay, all right, so now 2 away from number 6, so on this side 2 away was 20 past, so on this side it's going to be 22. Okay, and the same on the opposite sides. All right, so here we had quarter past, so here we must have 1:45. Okay, here we had 10 past, so here we have 10:02, and here we have 5 past, so here one, because this is one after the 12 and this one before the 12, we will have 5:02. Okay, so why do we have the past and the 2? All right, the past tells us which hour we've just gone past around here. So it might have been, if it's been 3 o'clock and then we get to 10 past, it will be 10 past 3. Okay, all right. And once we've gone over halfway, we then change by saying the hour we are going to. All right, so if we're around here and we turn time, we would be looking towards what hour it's going to be. Okay, right, next step. So you need to draw another clock face again, okay, and bring the numbers just in a little bit. Try and write them quite small. 12, 3, 6, 9. Oh, that's okay. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11. Okay, right, so what we also need to understand about telling time so that we can change from it being in its analog format to its digital format is the number of minutes on the clock face. Okay, so between each number on the clock face, okay, there are 5 minutes. So if we're looking here, we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one would be number 5. They're often quite longer. All right, mine are not going to be perfectly proportioned because my clock is drawn by a human. Okay, all right, so these ones are going to have to spread out a bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one's often a bit longer. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so basically what we know is each time we get to a number, each time the minute hand gets to a number, it has gone past 5 minutes. Okay, so we can now go around the clock and just identify the number of minutes that each number is linked with. Okay, so we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and 55. Okay, and at the top, that's your full 60 minutes in an hour. All right. Okay, so I'm going to say that the time is 10 to 4, okay? And I'm going to draw hands on this clock, all right? So I know that I redrew my clock so you could see both, but you should be able to see both that you've done. Okay, so our minute hand is 10 to. All right, so our minute hand is always a bit longer. Okay, it's closer to the number, and it's 10 to 4. Right, so it's really close. It's really close to getting to 4 o'clock. So our hour hand, which is shorter, is going to be closer to the 4 than to the 3. Okay, so it will look something like that. Okay, now what we need to do is write the digital time. So we're going to think about where our minute hand is, and if it's 10 to 4, the minute hand has travelled around 50 minutes. Okay, so down here, let's do it in the middle. Down here, we know that it's 50 minutes, and those are our minutes in our digital time. Okay, and now we need to work out the hour. All right, and this is one of the places that people make mistakes, going between the digital time, okay, and the analog time, because we say 10 to 4, but it hasn't got to 4 o'clock yet. So we don't put 4 here, we put 3. Because it was 3 o'clock, the minute hand has gone all the way round up to here, right, which means 50 minutes have gone by, all right, after 3 o'clock. So the digital time is 3:50 and the analog time is 10 to 4. All right, let's do another one. Okay, so let's say that it's 20 past 9. All right, so our minute hand is coming to point to 20 past, which is where the 4 is, and 20 past 9. Our hour hand, the shorter hand, is travelling between the 9 and the 10. It won't be halfway round there. Okay, it will be about there. All right, and we can see that this will be 20 past 9. So now we're going to write that time on our digital. Okay, so we're coming thinking it's gone 20 minutes past, and on this side it's slightly easier to do because it's just past the hour that we say. So 20 past 9, our hour, and we would say this digital time as 9:20. We'll do another one. Okay, let's do 20 to 8. Okay, so it's 22, and our hour hand would be going right close towards the 8. 20 minutes to 8. Okay, and then our digital time, I have to think, has come round to the 8. So the minutes are 40. And remember, this is the one that counts on, so it hasn't got to 8 o'clock yet. So here our hour is 7:40. Okay, and if you Google maths frame telling the time and find the site, place the cursor over the button that has a little eye in it. It will give you kind of like the information, the instructions on how the site works. Practice telling the time until you're secure.